Hey everybody, and welcome to Geeks and Drinks. I'm Jason.
I'm Jordan.
And we have just a few things to talk about this week. Not a hell of a lot of news came out. We had some cool trailers. There were some couple announcements, mostly from Marvel. So
Yeah, because we're at that dry run right now.
yeah, like it's that spot that people are like, let's hold off like an extra month or two before Comic-Con. We already had WonderCon. You had a little bit of news from there, but Comic-Con's coming up, and all the say what you want about Comic-Con, how it's been taken over by the industry, and yes, it has.
We can talk about that everyone's just kind of accepted that is what it is.
Fate. Yeah. So now it's just become just a full dumping ground for all the news.
Now it's like it's not a hipster thing to say anymore. It's everyone's just kind of been like, yeah, fuck, it's different.
Yeah.
And that's why I still love WonderCon and Long Beach.
So it has a not really corporate shill vibe to it as much.
Well, plus because last time I went to the Long Beach one, it was Long Beach Comic and Horror Convention. Like they had to throw that last one in, which I'm cool with.
Well, people have to find ways to go meet Elvira. Yeah, nothing wrong against that.
Hey man, you know why? Because she's ginger. In real life.
In real life, she is ginger. Yes. All right, but let's get to the news of the day. Let's start off with the trailer for Kingsman sequel, The Golden Circle. We both thoroughly enjoyed the first movie. When they announced they were making a sequel, it was half awesome and half how.
Well, I wouldn't say how. I mean, there's always, when there's a will, there's a way. So we all just kind of knew, but it's like, but there's no Colin Firth.
Yes.
How are we gonna get through this? And then the fucking poster that came out, it's like the reports of my death have been greatly exaggerated, and everyone's like, "Yep, I'm in.
Yep, and we're good.
We need to know nothing else about this."
The trailer came out, and it is action-packed as one would expect. It just looks to just take everything that made the first movie enjoyable and just expand it way out of proportion. Especially because Mark Millar's original comic for Kingsman was only 6 issues long.
Yeah,
there wasn't much in there for even just one film, so this is all new material. And
They did the same thing with Kick-Ass 2. Remember Kick-Ass 2? The comic beat the movie by like what, 2 months?
Something like that.
Technically, Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
That's right, because Volume 6 wasn't out by that time, was it?
No, it beat it by like a week or two.
That's right. Okay.
But by the time they had finished, or by the time the script was written before filming, only Volume 3 or 4 was out. And by the time they had wrapped and the movie was about to come out, Volume 6 wasn't out yet. I think it even came out like the week before. Or even that week
I knew it was very close to it.
Yeah, it was dangerously close. Because it was me and my buddy Moses at the time. Not at the time, he's still a really cool guy. I just don't. But we went to a comic book shop to fucking pick it up at midnight. And literally it's like, yeah, I don't know how they're going to make that in the movie.
But going back to Kingsman, like with this new trailer, they introduced a boatload of new characters. I mean, yes, we have Colin Firth back. Awesome. You can't have a movie without him.
You can. I'm pretty sure there's thousands upon thousands of movies without Colin Firth in them.
Yeah, but they're not really all that good then. He always adds a more to it. Do you not agree?
He's delightful and everything.
All right. But then you have the introduction of essentially the U.S. version of the Kingsmen, the Statesmen, where, as you would expect, they're all basically cowboys with, what was it? They had, like, on their belt buckle was a flask.
Dude, I would not be surprised if it turns into, like, this was all started because of, like, Wyatt Earp or some shit.
Wouldn't surprise me in the least.
Yeah.
I will say, though, that they expanded the cast as well. I mean, you have everybody from, like, Halle Berry and Elton John joining in on this.
How does Halle Berry still keep getting work?
I really don't know. You also have Jeff Bridges. He should always have work. Pedro Pascal, Channing Tatum. Can't say his last name for the life of me.
Really? You can't say Channing Tatum?
Shut up. Anyways, so the movie.
Tatum. Sorry.
Shut up. So the trailer is out. You guys should check it out. We will be able to see how this movie turns out later on this year. It's scheduled for release September 22nd. Like I mentioned a moment earlier with Mark Millar, who's been working on the comics initially. he actually made an announcement that there's actually going to be a new set of comics coming out for Kingsman before the second movie comes out. Now, the title for these ones is called Kingsman: The Red Diamond, so it makes you wonder it does have anything to do with the Golden Circle, but maybe it'll actually show how Harry survived that damn bullet.
We don't even know if the comic's going to follow Eggsy or anything. It just says Kingsman.
Yeah, that's all it is. He just says, "Hey, I'm working on a new comic. It's within the Kingsman universe," and that's all we get. So, I'm happy for it. I mean, more Kingsman is always good. You'll be able to find out more information once he finally releases some information himself on Twitter. The only thing he's said is he's making this. That is it. Let's move on to the other trailer that was released, I believe, just this morning, if not.
Yeah, either yesterday or today.
Yeah.
It's making the rounds.
Finally, we are starting to see come to fruition the Dark Tower. This has been in the works for well over a decade in different hands, different directors, even whole different companies altogether.
Yeah, but even the book's, 15 years old?
Oh, much older than that.
Is it?
The first book was actually a collection of about 5 or 6 short stories from the late 70s and early 80s. The book first came out in 1982. Yes, I've been reading them.
That's fine.
Titled The Gunslinger. And then since then, there's been, I want to say, 6 or 7 novels, the latest being 2004, 2005, which was titled The Dark Tower.
Okay.
So
are they condensing all of them into one?
And see, that's the thing, though. From everything that people have been looking at this trailer, they incorporate stuff from 3 of the books. It was the first one, which is The Gunslinger, the third one, which was The Wastelands, and then the latest one, which was The Dark Tower. And a lot of people are looking at this, and because the production company itself have come out and stated, not in uncertain terms, but basically this is not a remake or a reboot. It's not even a reimagining. It could be considered a continuation or a sequel to the books, which is going to be interesting because there's already several scenes in there that hark back to other scenes from previous books. So who knows what the hell's going to happen with this. This has been wanting by fans of this franchise for decades. I mean, there has been some comic adaptations. There was one video game adaptation as well.
Was there?
Yes, there was. It wasn't really all that good. Yeah, so you can find it online. It was like, I think it was started with a D. I forget what it was called, I think.
That's right.
I can't remember what it was. Yeah. So this will be coming out later on this year. It has been pushed back twice, but it looks like they're finally saying yes, it is going to come
Well, I mean, I knew nothing about this at all, and even I was like, all right, that was actually a pretty cool trailer.
Well, Idris Elba, I think, was a perfect casting choice as Gunslinger, and they definitely showed off.
So not to bring up racism, but was the Gunslinger black?
No.
Okay. I mean, not that it matters
not
or
that it
anything
matters
like that, but like
yeah.
I was legitimately curious. I mean, because now it's going to be something we're going to have to hear. Unfortunately, like Hollywood's gotten to that point where you have to ask, like, was the original character the same nationality as they are now?
I hate that shit.
But you know what I mean,
It's
though.
going to happen, yes.
Like, you've read the shits, I forgot what
That
I
is
asked.
inevitable. You also have Matthew McConaughey playing the Man in Black. And the thing about that character is that variations of that character
They told him to keep his shirt on, and he was like, compromise. I want to leave my shirt unbuttoned to, like, right about here.
Okay, fair enough.
I want that Persian nightclub owner look where
He can't
it's just
make any
half
left
open.
turns the entire time while he's on screen?
He's not Zoolander. Gasoline fight.
Oh, jeez. But I think it could be very good. I think he's going to incorporate what makes that character so great. I mean, it's a character that Stephen King's used time and time again in a number of his novels. So it's one of those, now we're finally starting to see this on the big screen. People are excited. I cannot wait for this. Will I tell you that you need to read the book before you watch this? No.
I won't.
No.
I got enough.
You'll still enjoy it. And with any luck, we'll actually get more than just a single movie. It has also been in the works for a while, and we'll probably not see it show up until 2018, but there will actually be a TV series tie-in to this. They're talking about following the Marvel format. You have movies and you have TV series and you tie everything together. There's more than enough content in all these novels. Doesn't need to, but I'm actually looking forward to it, especially because they've already said Idris Elba's agreed to continue reprising his role as the gunslinger in the TV series past the movie itself. So
he's going to show up in like one episode and be like, what's up?
I really doubt they'll do something like that. I think he'll actually have a more central role we'll have to see what happens.
He's an actual actor now. He doesn't have to do shit like this
He's
anymore.
also a diehard fanatic of this series too. I wouldn't surprise me if he was able to work it into his schedule so he can show up more than just once for the TV series.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that is just me. I'm just rambling on. It'll come out later on this year.
It's called fangirling. It's what happens when you care.
Yeah, very true. Oh, what else do we have here? Oh, yeah.
Speaking of Marvel.
Yeah, let's talk about Defenders. The actual first trailer came out for the Defenders. There was that teaser.
Which one?
The teaser one. Oh, there was two, because all I saw was the elevator one.
Before that, remember there was the one that I think it was at Comic-Con last year, where it was just kind of like newspaper clippings and just kind of like
really
it showed no
consider that a
actual
trailer?
footage.
I would consider that more just like a proof of concept.
You said teaser.
Okay, yes.
You're like, we got our first trailer, and you said then there was the teaser. I'm like, well, which one?
Okay.
Because there was two different teasers.
Fair enough. Yes.
Because that was at Comic-Con last year. That's when they showed us what I think it was Iron Fist as a teaser. Or, sorry,
That series was such a disappointment.
we had Luke Cage as an actual like trailer. Right. Then we had Iron Fist as like a teaser, and then like there was the Defenders, which was a teaser for a teaser, which was I believe it was the same song, "The Come As You Are," but it was just like their names that looked like they were paper mache on a wall or some shit.
Yeah.
We finally get to see Sigourney Weaver as a bad guy.
Yeah, that'll be a nice bit. Seeing all these guys together so far, they seem to have some decent chemistry. And the running joke online right now is, of course, you know this is a Marvel series because there is a hallway fight scene.
Yeah.
In every Marvel Netflix series, there's been a hallway fight scene with varying success. The Daredevil one I still think is the best one, followed by the first one.
The Daredevil one, followed by the Daredevil one.
No, Daredevil one, first one. It was episode 6.
No, the season 1.
Yeah,
and they did it again in season 2, but that's when they incorporated like the whole stairwell scene and everything after.
That's true.
So that's on like which Daredevil one?
I did appreciate Luke Cage's hallway fight scene.
Well, that was him just like walking and just be like, "Fuck you."
Yep.
Did Jessica Jones have one?
She did. It was the latter half of the series. And internet, correct me if I'm wrong if he doesn't do it first.
I'm replaying shit in my head.
I'm trying to remember what it was. But can we both agree that? Well, let me ask this: did you finish watching Iron Fist in its entirety?
Yeah.
Massive disappointment, that one.
No, makes sense.
Really? I was not digging that. Like,
the fuck were you expecting?
I was hoping for more.
Okay, everyone was.
Yes, and we've talked about it
even the actors and the writers were. I think the only one who wasn't was Marvel, who's like, we wrap it up.
Yes, we talked about this at great length in a previous episode, but still.
Iron Fist, the entire series, is the equivalent to like when a movie wins Best Picture at the Academy Awards.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know how there's always like the one like squirrely producer at the very end? Like the director always gets to go and be like, I thank you all the fans who did this and that.
Someone jumps in the last second.
And then there's like the two actors like who are like the main leads. They get to say their piece. And then the producer finally walks in and he's fucking hyped. And then what happens?
He gets
like
played off.
The get your shit and go music starts playing. And it's like he just got there.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what it was.
Well, one can hope that they took more time with the Defenders.
Well, I would hope so, considering right after Iron Fist, they're like, all right, go make Defenders.
Yeah.
Which that still trips me out. Like I said, it took me like 3/4 of the season to realize you were the gay brother from Game of Thrones.
And I'm sure he's doing a lot to make sure that people forget that.
Look, I'm sure Finn Jones has done other things, but
recently that's what he's going to be known
for. Come on,
for.
look, he's even hanging out with a shirt open like that.
That's true.
That screams gay brother. Look at that squat. Feminine as shit.
And I'm sorry, the tattoo does not do him any favors whatsoever.
Because he's not... I mean, even if you look at the original design of Iron Fist, it's not intimidating at all.
No,
like
it's not.
Although it did make me laugh. It's like, cool, the one girl, how do we put her in the poster? With her butt facing more than her actual front?
Mm-hmm.
Which I don't mind, because she is an attractive woman, but still, it's like, really, stop making women sexy lampshades.
Yeah. So, we'll see more information about the Defenders series, hopefully in the very near future. It will be released on Netflix August 18th of this year. Followed by what? Punisher and then Daredevil Season 3?
Yeah, I think we're getting Punisher by the end of the year. Because what I think they're starting to do, because it's 2 a year, right?
Something like that, yeah.
Like you get your summer, and then you get your winter.
Mhm.
Like fall, it's usually like November-ish.
Right.
So I think like what last year it was, I want to say Daredevil season 2, and then Luke Cage. No, Jessica Jones.
Mhm.
And then this past one it was Luke Cage and Iron Fist, and now it's its big summer one,
Right.
like the big first one of the.
Sure. Well, there's plenty of stuff for you guys to enjoy out there from Marvel Land. And a lot of other companies are getting in on it. It's not just the movies, and it's not just Netflix. There was also, and it's still going, and it's sadly being a real disappointment, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. on ABC.
Oh god, I keep forgetting that's a thing.
And it's still going.
When the fuck did I stop watching again?
Like
I wanna say it was,
season 1.
No, I got past that.
Barely.
No. Like that one wasn't bad. Like it was cool, but it was. I was too late. I came too late to the party, and I missed all the good bits.
Okay.
No, I saw like the nerdy chick, like when the blob took her.
Oh, so you got probably through season 2. Maybe.
It checks out.
Yeah. So, we also have, what's the one that's coming
There's
out?
Legion on FX in terms of stuffs. Of course, you
I was-
have CW, all of their nerdy shit. But if we're sticking more with just a Marvel theme,
stuff.
let's see. I did mention Legion. You have Fox and their really still planning stage X-Men show called Gifted. Well, that's the tentative
I don't
title.
know how that's gonna work out on that
like
one.
I said, they still haven't really announced much.
There was
announced
one
much more than
for
that.
Freeform. It was Dagger or Cloak and
Cloak
Dagger,
and Dagger.
which is I've only read maybe a couple issues. I don't really know much about that.
I know nothing about them except for when they show up in other people's issues.
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah.
But also Hulu is going to get into this. They did confirm. They did greenlight a I think it was an 8-episode season for Marvel's Runaways.
I can't even. When you say greenlight, that still makes it sound like it's in like prepubescent, like it's still in the plotting stage.
Okay, they've talked about it. They produced it. They didn't give an official green light. I don't know why they do this.
They've been tempting their dangly bits for this for years
They've
now.
already started recording and filming. So I don't know why they're just saying, "Hey, we greenlit this," and I'm like, "No, you've been
You greenlit it a while
yeah,
ago.
I know. Just say you have, and you're moving forward with this." But yeah, this is based on a comic series, Runaways, of the same title. Essentially,
Go back. Scroll down.
There's not much to say about this. There was a teaser that was shown during a presentation earlier this week. There are cam rips of it online.
This poster looks like if you had like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and fucking Degrassi.
Yes.
Like that's what that poster looks like.
Well, considering it's tied to how the first issue's cover was.
No, but even then,
Yeah.
like they look like actual social outcasts in the poster.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the below part looks like if the Disney Channel tried to remake The Breakfast Club.
Ouch. You're not
You're
wrong.
telling me you
No,
don't
no,
see it.
I do see it. You're not wrong, but damn. I'm sure it's not what Hulu was hoping to.
I don't give a fuck
get
what they
on
were
there.
hoping for. That's what it goddamn looks like.
Very true. We won't find any more information about
poster's amazing.
this series until 2018, so we have a ways.
Look, they even
to
have
wait.
Up and Up Ramona Flowers in the corner.
Yeah, they do.
Just like off-brand, like we couldn't afford the real thing.
Can't really do any more than that.
Ah.
Oh well, more Marvel everywhere. That's all you can say about that. Let's talk about DC real quick. DC's,
Good news, technically.
Yes,
Surprisingly enough.
DC's been trying to work on a way to make a live-action Teen Titans TV series for a while now. Initially, it was with what, TNT? I think it was the cable channel. That was scrapped. Then there was talk.
Well, because originally that started, if I'm wrong, I probably am in this. It originally started as they wanted to do a Nightwing show, and then eventually it became Titans, and then eventually that just fucking fell through.
Yeah.
So I think they're like, we'll settle as they made Young Justice.
Mm-hmm.
And then that made it to 2 seasons, and then they're like, no, we're canceling it. And nerds were pissed.
Yes, they were. But good news, it has been confirmed that yes, the live-action Teen Titans TV series is moving forward. Just not for broadcast television. It's actually going to be exclusively on DC's still in its very early infancy planning stages of their own streaming service. So my question is, before we go more further into this,
Television's going more buffet style.
but if DC is trying to make their own digital streaming service for their IPs, what does that have to do? What happens to all the DC TV shows on CW?
They'll stay there.
You think it'll actually get split, or
I think it'll stay there, but I think it'll probably go the route of like Netflix. After a certain time, we get everything.
fair enough? Yeah, I can see that.
Dude, I still laughed. I think I told you, Supernatural, Flash, and Supergirl are still technically going right now.
Yeah.
But they've already announced, I think it's like the 14th or 15th or some shit of this month. We get the current season in its entirety on Netflix.
Which is actually a pleasant surprise.
No, I've been gushing about this for like over a year now when they first announced this deal.
I'm still a pleasant surprise for me.
Not really a surprise. It's like we knew it was coming.
Surprise for me. I'm just giving you shit. Along with this, they also did confirm that Young Justice, the animated series, is going to get its third season, titled Outsiders, and that will also exclusively be on the DC digital streaming service. How much it'll cost, what else will be on this streaming service, we have no idea, other than it's planned to be released sometime in 2018. So we have at least another 8 months before we get any more information out of this.
Yeah.
So, hey, look, more DC stuff coming out down the pipeline, but you won't see it on TV.
Until Comic-Con.
Yeah. Of course there'll be a boatload of stuff at Comic-Con, but until
you
then...
know what I mean? Like, now's like let's just test the waters. And then at actual Comic-Con, it's like, all right, it's time to get our dicks wet.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, given the fact that today is May 3rd, tomorrow is May 4th, unofficial Star Wars Day, which basically requires an entire week nowadays to try to watch everything. You put a valiant effort forward last year. How much did you actually get through?
Well, because last year Rogue One wasn't out yet.
Right.
Episode 7 was just barely out on DVD.
Right.
I believe I made it through everything I normally do, which is episode 1, 2, the 2 volumes of the Genndy Tartakovsky Clone Wars cartoon, episode 3, 4, 5, 6, and Fanboys. But I cheated. I started episode 1 like at midnight.
That's right. You were still trying to do it all within a single 24
in a
hours.
single 24-hour span. Yeah. Like, I watched episode 1 at midnight, and then fell asleep, woke up, watched episode 2, and I proceeded to drink heavily, and then decided Dom needed a Kylo Ren mask, so we tracked one down, ignoring episode 2, because it's episode 2. Drove to the drove to the Toys R Us. It's down in Fullerton.
Mm-hmm.
So basically drove like 4 or 5 miles down the road to buy him a Kylo Ren mask and more booze because I drank it all. And then back to watch the Clone Wars cartoons and make large amounts of Doom food. Mm-hmm. And then proceeded to keep drinking and watching. And by the time I was done, I remember it was like 1 a.m. again. And like Fanboys was like just starting, and I'm like, oh god, I love this movie. It's such a good movie. But sleep. Oh yeah, Linus, you're hilarious. I'm up. Like that point of just exhaustion, just from being too drunk and exhausted. Because I remember I know that's right, I didn't even watch 7 at all. I was supposed to borrow it from you, and then I didn't.
You did not, that's right.
Just because it turned into, it's like, you know what? I don't need 7. Because if I watch 7, I know I'm just not going to do this at all. Like, there's no way I'm getting through this shit.
Yeah.
It's like, there's no way that's going to end well.
But now you have 1 through 7, Rogue One, the Genndy Tartakovsky, Star Wars, Clone Wars,
Rebels, if you want to throw that
Rebels,
bitch in there.
throw that in there.
Look, we're basically
Do
looking
we want to just toss in the Star Wars Christmas holiday special just for the hell of it?
No, that's a rite of passage.
That's true. You always need to find a new person who has never seen it every holiday season.
Like that, every Christmas season, that's what you do.
You get a boatload of booze. You sit them down. You say, prepare for the worst 2 hours of your life, and just enjoy the Schadenfreude.
Although last year I got a twofer. Last year I got Lauren. I got Lauren and Becca.
That's true.
And Greg, technically.
And Greg.
Greg
he
was
popped
in and out.
Yeah.
Lauren, he's like, oh my god, the fuck is this? This is terrible.
And the year before,
the entire time, like, he's like, so when does it get better? It doesn't. No, like, seriously, when does this get better?
It doesn't.
So you guys aren't fucking with me? No. Like, this is just got. Normally, guy logic is. Sorry, I keep doing this, but guy logic is, dude, smell this. And you don't explain what it is, or you're like, oh, it smells amazing. Oh, it smells like butt. And then that's the big joke.
Right.
With Star Wars Christmas Special with Lauren, we were honest. We're like, this is not good. You are not going to enjoy this. Please take a drink now. And by that, I mean finish it, and we'll replenish you before pushing play. I am so sorry, but this needs to happen.
Yes.
Because that was the whole thing with Becca, too. She's like, there's no way it's that bad. No, it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
But you need to watch it. Really? Yep. You can just enjoy B. Arthur singing and...
Come on. If anything, that was one of the best parts of the entire special.
The weird Cirque du Soleil performance in the beginning.
No, that was just god-awful.
Or was it? It was REO Speedwagon, was it?
Yeah, like REO Speedwagon, some other singer that got grandpa, you know.
Yeah. The VR
space porn, yeah.
I bring you pleasure. It was just creepy.
Oh, God.
But anyways.
Yes, it is a lot to take in. I don't think we're going to get through any of that this year. We'll watch a little bit, I'm sure, here and there.
I'm sure I'll find somebody.
Yeah, but, yeah, so Star Wars Day is basically tomorrow, probably the day I'm going to release this online. But to talk about that, we have a few things to discuss. It has been rumored for quite some time, ever since Disney bought Lucasfilm out, that they were going to release a 4K theatrical cut of the original trilogy out on Blu-ray, or at least out in theaters. There's been several reports saying that they have actually seen this being in work at Lucasfilm. Turns out, as of right now, that may be shut down. In a recent appearance on a podcast, Kathleen Kennedy, which is basically head of all Star Wars at this point, was asked about the possibility, and she replied, and I quote, "I wouldn't touch those. Are you kidding me? Those will always remain his," George Lucas's. The thing is, though, Kathleen Kennedy is not the end-all, be-all in terms of saying what Star Wars does and does not do for Disney. It needs to happen. I honestly believe it should.
Mm-hmm.
There's too many fans out there who have been clamoring for it, and there have been several
people would buy the
and
fuck
very
out of it.
successful attempts to actually go out there.
Like that one
and
nerd
fix
who
it.
spent like over a year.
Revisited. Yeah, he's actually done the original trilogy. He's gone to the point where
Did he? I thought he only did 4 and 5.
He is. That's right. He finished 5 because he actually did color correction, but actually built sets to spec to reshoot certain scenes that could be only a few seconds or even a few frames long.
Yeah.
To make sure it was exact the way
Yeah.
it should have been. He's put an enormous amount of effort and time into this, and a lot of people have been helping him financially through all of this. And it is released online. You can go and download these.
I thought they took him down. Like they're like, get your shit off.
No, they put a thing online basically saying, like, in order to download these, you must own the original copy. Basically, all the legal jargon to try to prevent them from being sued for a takedown.
Oh, so it's like you have to actually own a copy of the DVD somewhere, and you're good.
Yes.
Oh,
that's what they're hiding behind at this point. And if they continue on to do Jedi as well, I'll be extremely grateful. But does this mean we'll ever see it from Disney? Never say never.
Yeah.
That is just a cash cow waiting to happen.
Like we'll probably see this before I see fucking Tron 3.
Shut up.
Never.
You're never gonna blame that on me.
No.
Okay, let's end with some happy news. As many Star Wars fans know, there's a ton of original content and a ton of parodies that have been released over the years, whether it be in song form, whether it be movie form, short-lived fan TV series. What was it? Troopers that actually duplicated or imitated cops. That's probably one of the most.
I thought it was Clerks.
No. There, because the TV show Cops.
Yeah.
There was a very famous video that someone actually took that idea and put it in the Star Wars universe following some Imperial troopers.
Oh, okay.
It actually is still really good to this day. But this group that we're going to talk about right now is actually a parody duo. They call themselves, and I just completely forgot about others, Palette Swap Ninjas. This has been making its way across the internet this past week. They've been working on an album for the past 5 years, and it is taking every single song from the Beatles' Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. They parodied the entire album, focusing on Star Wars. I've actually downloaded the album. You can download for free. They also created a YouTube playlist online for your enjoyment if you don't want to download it, and created a music video for a couple of the songs that you can enjoy. This is impressive. How much of this have you actually seen, though?
Just snippets.
Just snippets here and there. I have to say, this has kind of been on repeat for me for the past day. It's actually been really good. It is a parody combination I never thought would have actually worked or happened in the first place. Who would have thought doing Beatles and Star Wars just...
Any nerd ever.
I don't know. I mean, they may have had a conversation about it, but these guys actually went out and did it. It's really well done. You guys should check it out.
You just said thought. You didn't say actually accomplished. Clearly, they're the only ones who ever actually accomplished it.
Fair enough. So.
You're telling me there's not like one or two high nerds out there somewhere that would have been like, dude, what if you like played Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Heart Club's Band with Star Wars? Do you think it'd sync up like Dark Side of the Moon? Or like, do you think there's a way to mix the two?
Okay, fair enough. But these guys, like you said, these guys are actually people who went out there.
Just wanted to turn your own words around, dude.
All right, that's fine.
I've only corrected you like once this episode. I was
Which
running
is
low.
surprised.
I felt bad.
I'm going for the high score at this point. The video that you can catch on YouTube for their music video is just look for Princess Leia's Death Star Plans. Again, like I said, they have the entirety of the album available for streaming on YouTube, or you can download it for free on their website. Just do a search for Princess Leia's Soul and Death Star Plans or Beatles Star Wars. You can find it in multiple places. But it's cool. You guys should check it out. But that's about it I have for this episode. I mean, we've gone through a bunch of trailers. We talked some Star Wars. We talked some Marvel. A little bit of DC. There's plenty of other stuff to talk about. We can always bring it up on a future show. Just things about your options for having to stream stuff online. You know, being a cord cutter, getting away from cable and satellite. Plenty of other stuff going to happen as we get closer to Anime Expo and Comic-Con.
Oh, if you enjoy the animes, I actually showed up on the most recent episode of whatever the fuck,
Anime
Break
2.0.
There you go, that
also,
one.
our friend Dom joined us as well. We just talked about a bunch of random stuff that'll probably make your waifu cry. We also included a little game that I created.
No, there was a Food Wars movie coming. There is a Food Wars.
It's an OVA,
movie.
yes, coming out July 4th, right during Anime Expo, which I'm guessing someone will probably have it at AX.
I'd say there'll probably be some kind of stream or something.
Which means, as all we can hope, as soon as this comes out, there'll be an announcement afterwards for Season 3.
Because I wanted that last year, but that didn't fucking happen.
I know. But I have no say in that. I have no control.
Because even I remember telling you about the ending. You're like, no, it's still possible. And then I told you how the show ended. You're like,
it could happen.
Yeah, you might not get one. Like, it's possible. It's not.
You never know.
They didn't know. They didn't say no, but
right.
Don't be heartbroken if it turns out that way.
Yeah. Sure. So you guys want to check on that as well. But thank you guys so much for joining us for this episode of Geeks and Drinks.
Yeah.
I'm Jason.
Jordan.
Cheers, Internet.